Okay, good morning. This is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such, and today I'm going to be doing a jacket, a rain jacket that I'm putting initials on the hood of it, or the hat of it, or the hat. And I'm putting it right here. So what I did is I put a little piece of tape. See if you can see that. Just put a little piece of Scotch tape to mark that this is the center of from seam to seam. And I did it here and I did it here as well, so that I could kind of have a guide when I put it on the machine. I'm using 2 layers of tearaway. I take and put the jacket up kind of under the, on the little shelf of the machine so that it will hold it a little bit and the weight's not like dragging it down. That's what the initials that I'm doing the vine, and that's the size that I'm doing. Okay, so what I do is I've already got it set up to embroider, and I've got it in the center part, and I'm actually going to put it at the top. And what I'll do is I want to start it about right here, so I'm going to use the seams to match it on each side, middle. Okay, and I'm going to put it right at the bottom of that little piece of tape, because that signifies the center of the top and where I want to start it at. Then I'm going to just press it on a little, then I'm going to go down to the center. I'm going to use that piece of tape there, and I'm going to actually press it on there. I'm going to go to the bottom, and it should just line right up, and it does. And I'm just pressing it with my fingers to make sure that it lays out and that it's stuck nicely to the okay. Now what I like to do is just take a little clip, use these little clips here, and clip it on the side. I'm going to come over to that side. And if you take your machine over to where you're at, you're able to kind of press on it, and it'll press down on the hard bar, and it'll kind of make it stick. Try not to use any more of the spray than I have to. I'll come over here and clip. Okay, that looks nice and flat. Nice and flat up here. And nice and flat over there. Okay, then I'm going to run around it to see. I'm not liking the way that's looking there. Just going to give it a flat. Okay. I'm going to go over to this side. Nice and flat over there. And then you want to make sure it's flat on the bottom. And this one's not going to pin down nicely because of the way but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the middle is flat, and then I'm going to stitch the middle. I'm going to go ahead and remove these before I forget. I have forgotten before, but I caught it in time. But let me go back up to the top and just make sure that's where I want it. Yeah. Okay. Those pieces off. And it's going to stitch the middle one first, so I want to make sure that everything, it's not going to go all the way over there yet. And it's not going to go all the way over there yet. But I want to see about how far it is from the edge. How far it is from the edge. Yeah, it looks right to me. So, flatten it out again. And I'm ready to stitch. And it should stitch the middle letter first. And it is. Because what I want it to do is I want it to stitch the middle letter first, and then I'm going to make sure that, and saying my bobbin's out. Actually, the thread popped. So, gonna put this back in. Didn't pop all the way. I mean, it popped, the thread popped, but it didn't. I didn't have to rethread the whole machine. This is the fluorescent, so I'm hoping, haven't used it in a while, I'm hoping I'm not going to have any trouble with it. Okay, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to back it up a couple stitches so that, so I can make sure it overlaps where I was. I'm going to click OK, lock, and go. Go anywhere that's not laid out. And I'm a hand person. I'm always keeping my hands. I keep it away from the needle, but I'm always kind of putting my hands in, making sure that, I don't know why, just making sure everything lays flat. I do have the machine set on 800. Sometimes if it starts going too fast for me, I'll put it on 600. And I used to cut the video off and then bring you back when it had stitched, but since YouTube's done away with the editing where you can't piece the videos together, I don't have an editing software, so the one that I use is free, and it has this marks on it, and I just don't like it. So I try not to have to piece a video together. I've had people complain about the little watermark on it, and there's nothing I can do about it. Worried about that little piece right there. You always want to make sure that your jacket's not under there. The hoodies are a little easier. You don't have to worry about them too much. And I'm going to do some toboggan, toboggan video for little beanie hats. I'm going to do that one after I do this one. So be on the lookout for that. I'll show you how I set that up and how I do 2 hats off of 1 piece of stabilizer. I actually use tearaway. looking good. And this was a hood, this was a rain jacket that was supplied by a customer, and they asked me to put the initials on it. I didn't buy it or anything, and I'm using the Vine font, and I actually resized with the Embroidery software. And you can do it on the machine, but I find that it just works easier if I take a jump drive to the Embroidery software and just type it up, resize it, and then put it on the jump drive or the thumb drive or USB drive and bring it back to my machine. Okay, I probably should have replaced my bobbin. Yep, it's out. That's okay. Just put it back in. Always trim it up to about like that, right there. Make sure it pulls easily, and then put it back in. No, I can't have C. I usually have a problem getting it in. There. And you have to hear that little click. Put it back up on there. And I will click close. Go to the thread count, which is this little button here. And I do have a stylus. And then I'm going to back it up. And I just watch down there while I -1. Whoop. And until I get it where the laser right where I want it. Okay, and that looks about right where it's messed. And I usually try to go past it, but being it's under the stitch, it really doesn't matter too much. So then I just click OK, lock, and go. And we'll start it back up. Done quite good bit of stuff for Christmas. I'm on Christmas break from school, but for Christmas I've done right good bit of stuff. I've done a lot of beanies. I've done a lot of Sherpas, which I didn't do videos because I just was pressed for time. But now it's after Christmas, and these are just some orders that people brought me to do after Christmas. So I'm doing this, and then I have some beanies to do, and a lady's supposed to bring me a vest to do today. So I figured things are slowing down a little. I will try to do a couple of videos. And the orange thread is the fluorescent orange. I bought that from the store where I bought my Brother machine. It's a vacuum sewing machine store. They sell all kinds of sewing machines, but I buy some of my thread from there, and I happen to buy this fluorescent orange for my husband. Says this is going to take about, well, I'm not quite halfway through, so when it finishes the L, I should be about halfway through. initials. I know I bought them online. It might have been something K or something. I can't remember. But it's where you type in the 3 and it puts all 3 of them the right size, and then you just have to move the side letters in toward the center letter a little. It works out great. And then you can do the center letter by itself by doing a space, and then the center letter and then another space. Because I have a lot of people that want initials on their hats, but they just want their last name. They don't want all 3 initials. Now when this gets ready to swing over to the other letter, I'm going to stop it to make sure that I have it straight, everything smoothed down where it's fixing to go. I don't want anything to be wrinkly. As you can see on the sides here, it's a little, I should have sprayed it a little bit more maybe. And I might do that. Okay, so I'm going to be ready to stop it when it swings over. And I stop, that way I know it's going that way. Okay, I'm going to back it up 1 stitch. I'm actually going to back it up 10 stitches so I can kind of get it away from over here. I'm thinking I need a little bit more spray. It's just not sticking enough to satisfy me here. So what I'm going to just do is I'm just going to spray some there. Okay. Then I'm going to pull it over and stick it. And I know I probably shouldn't be spraying near my machine, but I am this time. Okay, and that feels better. Yeah. I'm just going to make sure it's nice and stuck. Use my hand underneath as a little bit of pressure. Okay, and I think that's going to be good. You just don't want any wrinkles, and I'm going to leave it poked up kind of like that. And I'm going to, don't forget to go back and add my 10 back. It's going to start right there. I'm going to lock and go. And I'm going to kind of hold my hands to give it a little bit of, until it gets started good. I'm not pulling it, I'm just kind of holding it. Okay. Something like this is kind of hard to put on that I can't pin or clip. I'll make sure I spray it better, but I try not to use any more spray than I have to. But I should spray this one a little bit more. And you learn things like that as you go along. I'm gonna put my thing back up on the shelf. It's kind of falling down. See, like down here on this corner doesn't really matter because it's not going to come down here. I do want to make sure it's straight up there because it's fixing to go back up there. Bring in here, let me see, baby. Alright, here's my little boy. He's doing his stuff. What is it? Yeah, whatever your teacher said to do, you have to do. So, if it has at in the word, you color it blue. Does that have at in it? A-T? And you color those blue. If it has ugh, like bug, you color it red. See? Ugh, bug, because it rhymes. Color them the colors. Thank you. My children are homeschooled, so they are in there working on They have videos of their teachers from Rebecca, and they're in there working on their schoolwork. So anytime he has a question, he comes and asks. And I'm usually in there helping him a lot, but now he's to the point, now they're doing skills development. It's not really something I have to be sitting there with him to do. And I don't have to sit with him the whole time for any of it, but he does need your help. And I have to check it and make sure he does it correctly. Anyway, so it's fixing to finish off the T. Come over here, so I'm just going to kind of make sure this is not pulling. Okay. And it's not, so it's looking good. Now I'm going to have to catch it again when it jumps over to the next letter to stop it, to make sure that that side is flat the way I want it before it starts. Like I said, I don't normally do this, but this one just didn't lay really flat. It's not like the hats and things you just put on there and then you're done. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stop it right there. Oh, well, I will back up one space so it'll get back over to that side. And I think this one is pretty stuck. So I don't really think I need to do anything with this one. So I'm just going to let it go like that. Lock and go. And this one's a C. So this is TLC, which I thought was pretty cool because like tender loving care. Her initials are TLC. I'd never seen that before, so that was really neat. Unique. And I was going to cut you off before I finished it, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish it, and that way I'll be done. And you can see me take it off and see how it looks. Want it to pucker. Next time I won't do it this way, but it's turning out nice. Right here's where I'm worried about it, so looking nice. So we're on the inside now, so now I'm not going to worry about it because it's moved to the inside, so it's not going to pull it anymore. Everything else is stabilizing the inside. Saying I have about 270 more stitches. So if you have any questions about what I've done, just let me know. Like I said, this was my first hoodie, doing it on the hat, but I've done raincoats before on the chest, but never on the hat, but it works the same way. But the hat is a little tricky with the shape of it, so just know that. I don't put anything on top because any water soluble stabilizer, because it doesn't sink into this. This is just smooth, so I don't use the water stabilizer on the water soluble stabilizer, which some people call WSS. I don't use that on this type of material. Alright, we're done. I'm going to let it finish. Click OK. Always move it back out of the way, and I'm just going to pull it off. Because like I said, this is tear away, so I find it easier to tear it away on the machine. Just make sure you don't hit your needle. Okay. So this is what it looks like on the inside, and I will go and tear that off. And I'll bring you over here if I can to show you that. Sorry about the my camera is dead, so I'm having to have it on the plug. I'm having to have it charged. So then what I do is I just take this and take a pair of tweezers, and carefully, you don't want to grab the stitches and you don't want to grab the material underneath, but you just pull them away like that. Some people leave this on. I try to get it off. I don't like to leave it on. Now, some things I've done, I've sprayed too much and it wouldn't come off all the way, or either it was a little area and it wouldn't come off all the way. But I've learned to try to use less so that I can make sure I get it off. It just looks nicer. Let's see, and it's 2 layers. That's why I'm pulling off 2 pieces. Because I did, it's going to pull off 1 layer at a time. If it gets stuck on your tweezers, it doesn't like to come off, but sometimes you can grab both of them and pull. But most of the time it won't come off as nicely when you have both. But I just grab and pull. See, that one actually grabbed both of them. And then a piece is stuck on there. Now I'll grab one. Just grabbing it, and I'll continue to work on the rest of that. So, turn it over. And this is what it looks like. So you have the jacket here and the hood. So it turned out nicely. It's nice and flat. Didn't pucker. So it looks great. So I think she's going to like it. And I'll call her and tell her that it's ready. Alright, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the hats. The 3 initials, and then I do some with just 1 initial. I don't have a 1 initial in here to show you, but that's what I'm going to be doing, is the 1 initial. So stay tuned for that. Okay, thank you. This is Shawn Woodell from Heavenly Soaps and Such. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.